people don't know we're on because I'm not sharing the link or anything. We've just done it.
That's why I'm trying to. Sorry, I'm just trying not to be rude. Trying to tweet out. So,
Okay. It's half time in the Women's Challenge Cup, history-making Women's Challenge Cup, I'm going to call it. St Helens 16, Leeds Rhinos 4. Tyra Jones, first woman ever to score a try at Wembley. We need to work out how to hold this way. It doesn't wobble around more.
And in case you don't know, Rich has got an influencer stick. He's an influencer. You're a rugby league influencer. You're the new. His name escapes me. Played for Wakefield for 5 minutes. Kiwi bloke. You know the rules.
Not, Kevin Thingypop.
No. Yeah, this is going well, but yeah. Anyway.
We've only got one for you anyway. So, is it raining there, says Paul? Well, I don't know because we're inside. But it looked like it because the BBC had umbrellas up.
And their lovely pastel-coloured suits.
Kelsey Jensen's in some kind of brown. We'll go with that. Tanya Arnold, pink.
Danica Prim,
aquamarine, yeah. Toothpaste colour.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't like it.
Looks like Teletubbies, actually. We just need a purple. Colours. Teletubbies.
I would say when Leeds women had the yellow kit a few years ago, she did come on our programme and say she looked like a Teletubby. So
there you go.
Apparently Paul says the rain will favour Hull Kingston Rovers. You watch Rugby League, is that true?
Well, I suppose it was raining when they beat Wigan, but I mean, I think it's a very even game. It's a 50-50 game. I mean, I think if you were looking at the bare statistics, Leeds would be slight favourites because they're in better form. I think they've won something like 5 of their last 6 games. They're third on the table. And they've not had many injuries. Well, Honkai are, 6th, 7th.
Well, they didn't have a single player once at 13 last week, did they?
Well, that's because they rested
everyone.
But no, you think about the team that they started the season with: Lock and Clue gone, Jordan Hampton out, Jesse Sue out. They've had to bring in Schneider, push Micah Lewis to fullback. It's a different spine. So, will that matter? It may not matter. But
well, that's what the crowd's expected to be. 65,000 was the number someone just said in the press box. So
did they? I didn't hear that. I mean, I heard talk of around 60,000. Obviously bigger than last year at Tottenham. I'm guessing smaller than what was 2021. I think it was St Helens and Cass.
Yeah. There's also now they don't report Wembley as all turning up because obviously they don't these days. Then the numbers before may have been fudged.
Are you pushing conspiracy theories
No,
when it comes to attendance?
If they count people who have bought the ticket, then but now those tickets have all expired. So apparently it's nice in Club Wembley, but we get.
I wouldn't know. I've not had the joy.
I can see the media are milling around in the room looking for food, but there's no food there yet, so I don't know what to do.
There's crappy coffee.
Well, it's free though.
It's free.
How's your Wembley been so far? Since you've only been here about 10 years.
It's been good. I went and saw the Book of Mormon last night. That was great. If you like South Park and profane humour and swearing, no. I think we're in for a good day. I mean, Challenge Cup final is always a good day, isn't it? Let's be very biased, Rich, but there's lots of good stories, isn't there? I mean, Watley, 1971.
In all 3 games, there's something. I mean, whoever wins as a story because it's history. 1895, we've got Halifax who have been here for 30 odd years. Batley have never been here.
I don't want to rain on you. 1895.
Yeah,
but how many people will be here at 5:30?
Me, Phil, and James Childs.
and the players.
How on earth can fans be expected to watch 2 games? The chat keeps going off. Apologies. You can tell we haven't done a live chat on thing for ages. How on earth can fans be expected to watch 2 games, let alone 3, when they have a 10-hour round trip moving up north? But where to, Paul? Where to, Paul?
No, it's a fair Port. Look, I love coming to Wembley. It's got history, it's got tradition, but it's a fair point. And I think the amount of people who watch 3 games, there won't be many. Some will. For 20 quid, it's great value. But looking at the crowd here now, when you would say, I don't know, maybe 5,000, maybe 10,000.
Would you say the 1895 Cup was only invented to get people in? They've had to move the women's final here because if you didn't at a certain point, people are going to say, well, that's not very fair.
But Rich, how many? I don't think you were there, but I was at Tottenham last year.
No, I wasn't there.
There wasn't many Lean fans there after the game. And that's just a reality of the competition.
Man City says Paul, investing in fans on. I'd move the grand final to Man City because it's a much more modern stadium. Old Trafford's tired.
I like Old Trafford. It is tight, but I think you wouldn't want to have everything at one stadium. I think it makes a good point. Iliad for Wembley, for the Challenge Cup final, try and sell it out.
The advantage of City as well, of course, is you could have a main game in the main stadium, and you could use the stadium. Is it two they've got next door now? They've got the one where the women play, haven't they? It's like at Barcelona, the mini estadio.
Pep's a big Salford fan.
There you go, and the smaller one. We haven't done the message there. Pull his foot wobbling around. Northern Coins. How do you see the general state of the game today? Same as Everton.
Well, that's we got Rich. We got 2 hours or 3 hours.
We got time.
But yeah, I mean, I've not seen the newspapers today enough, but as my understanding, I think the Times and the Telegraph didn't have a preview in the today's game, and I think that kind of reflects where we're sitting in the national media. I mean, it's fantastic that both these games are live on BBC. Unfortunate that England women
play football
against
yeah.
Colombia. I mean, that's just a clash, but look,
Yeah,
most of the ratings
nothing
will be, that happens. But yeah, I mean, I think if you look at the financial results recently, there are some good things in the game. Attendances have been up. It's a very unpredictable season. Catalan's doing really well, obviously the league. The relegation battle, as you know, Rich, is heated right up.
I can't wait for Friday. That's the big one, isn't it? They should be that 12 Trafford.
Should be playing at Wembley.
Been off the 1895 from Castleford Wakefield there.
But
people might stay for that because then there's a bit of
spice.
Yeah, something like that.
No, I think the Challenge Cup, obviously, IMG is supposed to be working on the Challenge Cup. We have no idea. Well, I have no idea. Rich may have some information, but I don't know what they're doing with the Challenge Cup or what they're proposing to do. But it needs work.
It's the weird thing because obviously you come from Australia. People may have spotted that with the accent. Cup competitions aren't a thing, are they?
No, we don't.
And
We don't
here,
have a history. No.
In this country, if you look at football now, the early rounds of the FA Cup, League Cup, or whatever, they're not massively supported anymore because people. There is more things to spend your money on now than going to watch a football match you haven't paid for a ticket in your season ticket for. So, yeah, the finals are always going to be big sellers, but.
And I think since the introduction of the grand final and also Magic Weekend, it has cannibalised the Challenge Cup. I think that's the reality. You can't ignore that. I mean, I think they're all great big events, but obviously not everyone can afford to go to all of them, and that does.
Well, we've got a perfect final here because you've got 2 teams who haven't been here for donkey's years or haven't won here for donkey's years, as opposed to if it had been Lee versus Wigan or St Helens versus OKR, we would all have expected what the result would be, and it probably would have been that. At least we were talking about this a while ago, on the way up rather. The North doesn't have that big. When we're looking at London, you've got Spurs as a big stadium, Arsenal's a big stadium that are new and modern. Obviously, Everton again.
The Wembley of the North.
Obviously, Everton are getting their new stadium.
For the championship.
Man City Stadium. Ellen Road's a dump. Old Trafford is old. Anfield.
Anfield's quite nice, but it's probably in the wrong position of the country for rugby league.
So, we should. Where would you build a new big stadium in the north right now?
Bellevue.
Well, yeah, a big Superdome. The what's it called? It's a Ronnie Walker Megadome, yeah, that's what I used to call it.
Bring it back.
FA Cup tickets for City home games are roughly half the price of Premier League games in the early rounds.
I think that denotes that they're struggling to fill them. If they could charge the exorbitant prices.
And Man City don't need the money either, do they?
They don't.
Make up another sponsor or something.
I think the way the sport has changed as well is that you want less games but more meaningful games.
Yeah.
And I think, with loot fixtures and everything else,
I'm not sure whatever format you come up with, whether it's a group stage or everyone goes into round 1 or whatever, I'm not sure you can bring back something that's just lost. It's just gone. It just doesn't happen anymore. So
I think what you can
do,
the
final's still
you can market it better. You can push the
personalities. In general,
I mean, if we talk about the press conference, not to be overly critical, but it was at Brighouse. Nothing against anyone.
People slagged it off when we had the European Federation thing there. The European, remember the draws and those tournaments aren't happening now. Thanks, friends.
No offence to anyone who lives in Brighouse, but it's perhaps not the most.
I mean, they've been at Headingley before and such, and I don't know if Headingley was busy on Monday or something, but yeah. The best thing about these press events is you're told turn up at a certain time. I mean, everyone gets there early, that's fine. And we're going to do a press conference at X o'clock, and then no one asks questions at the press conference. Everyone wants to ask questions, and they're which is more than understandable.
But at least for the Lee and Holcar, why did we not have the full teams You know, why do we have 3 players? I understand Willie Peters was sick. He had diarrhea. Fair play, Willie. Stay at home. But obviously, you want to try and push as much media access as you can and as many players as you can. And we've really had one media event. We've not
2 from each team and one. I mean, it's different for the 1895, obviously, because it's players.
Part-time, yeah, they have jobs.
But
I fully
there was
understand.
many female players there as there were male players in the Challenge Cup finals, and they have jobs and such. I think that's right. 2 or 3 from it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but is there the media there to ask the question? So it's the same old people, isn't it? Asking the same old questions.
And that
the same
means
old...
you've got to kind of double your efforts, don't you? You've got to try and push stories to papers, to organisations.
Like radio stations that don't exist. No. Don't accredit them.
I can count on one hand the amount of stories that I've had that people have within the game, well, say from clubs, have pushed me, and that's unfortunate because you'd like, you know, any help for good stories is always good.
Especially something like this where it is history.
Yeah.
In fact, that's unfair because Saints and Leeds have been good, so I'm not going to. I'm glad it's these 2 teams in the final.
Look, we've got a lovely sun. Look at that now, baked in sunshine.
Where's Phil asked? He's out here.
He's crying at Leeds.
Yeah.
No, that's a joke.
So
He's not.
we're going to go find him. I don't think.
We can maybe do something after the.
Yeah, fingers
after
crossed.
the press.
We're going to go down to the press conference after this. But I don't know
We did
exactly
have
what's
7
gonna happen.
viewers, and that's
Yeah. So and we've only got
Down to
one.
one.
So they've all got to watch the second half. So we'll see you in a bit and enjoy the rugby
Goodbye.
league. Bye. Bye.